The attic was dim and musty, filled with forgotten treasures and the scent of old paper. Edward, a cartographer with a passion for the past, meticulously sifted through his grandfather's belongings. He carefully unfurled rolled-up maps, their edges brittle with age. Then, tucked in a dusty corner, he found it. A leather-bound map, unlike any he'd seen before. The map was crafted on a canvas of unknown material, smooth and cool to the touch. Intricate lines depicted familiar continents, yet scattered across the parchment were strange symbols and markings. They indicated locations he couldn't place, lands unheard of, oceans uncharted. Edward traced the lines with his fingers, his brow furrowed in concentration. Was this some ancient mariner's folly, or a forgotten explorer's vision of a world yet to be discovered? The map was an enigma, and Edward, with a cartographer's insatiable curiosity, was determined to solve it. Edward spent days poring over the map, his eyes tracing every line and curve with an intensity that bordered on obsession. He was a man driven by a need to understand, to uncover the secrets that lay hidden within the parchment. Cross-referencing its markings with every atlas and globe in his possession, he sought to find any hint of familiarity. His desk was a chaotic sea of paper, each map and atlas a potential key to unlocking the mystery. The continents, though slightly distorted, matched known geography. It was as if the map was a reflection of our world, seen through a warped lens. The familiar shapes of continents were there, but they seemed to shift and change under his gaze. However, the additional locations remained a mystery. These were places that no atlas or globe could account for, lands that seemed to exist only within the confines of this enigmatic map. Islands emerged from the sea where there should be none. These were not mere specks of land, but vast territories that defied all known geography. It was as if the map was revealing a hidden world, one that lay just beyond the reach of human knowledge. Mountain ranges pierced the sky in the heart of vast deserts. These were not natural formations, but towering monoliths that seemed to have been placed there by some ancient hand. The more Edward studied the map, the more he felt as if he was peering into a world that was both familiar and alien. He consulted fellow cartographers and historians, their faces etched with confusion as they examined the map. These were experts in their field, yet they could offer no explanations for the strange locations and symbols that adorned the parchment. The symbols meant nothing to them, the locations unknown. They were as baffled as Edward, unable to decipher the cryptic markings that seemed to hint at a deeper meaning. Some dismissed it as a clever forgery, a whimsical creation of fantasy. They laughed at the notion that such a map could hold any real significance, but Edward was not so easily swayed. But Edward felt a strange pull towards the map, an unexplainable certainty that it held secrets waiting to be unearthed. There was something about it that spoke to him on a level he could not fully understand. He meticulously documented every detail, every curve and line, every symbol and marking. Each stroke of his pen was an attempt to capture the essence of the map, to preserve its mysteries for future study. He compared it to ancient maps, searching for any similarities, any clues. He pored over texts and manuscripts, hoping to find some reference, some hint that could shed light on the map's origins. The more he studied it, the more convinced he became that this was no mere fabrication. There was a depth to the map, a complexity that suggested it was the work of a master cartographer, someone with knowledge far beyond his own. This map, he felt, held a truth far stranger than fiction. It was a window into a world that defied all logic and reason, a world that beckoned him to explore its depths and uncover its secrets. One evening, while Edward was hunched over the map, he noticed something peculiar. The map, which had been in his family for generations, had always been a source of fascination for him. Its intricate details and mysterious origins were the subject of many late-night studies, but tonight something was different. A warm sensation spread from his fingertips, a warmth that was both comforting and unsettling. It was as if the map was responding to his touch, coming alive under his fingers. The lines on the parchment seemed to shimmer and shift before his eyes. What was once a static representation of the world now appeared to be in motion, the ink glowing with an ethereal light. He watched in astonishment as a new landmass, previously unmarked, slowly began to materialize on the map's surface. It was as if the map was revealing secrets that had been hidden for centuries. The air crackled with an unseen energy, and the room seemed to hold its breath. Edward could feel the weight of the moment, the significance of what was happening. As quickly as it began, the transformation ceased. The map returned to its stillness, but the newly formed island remained. The warmth receded, leaving behind a clearly defined island where before there was only blank parchment. Edward's mind raced with possibilities. Edward's heart pounded in his chest. What did this mean? Was the map showing him something from the past, or was it predicting the future? The map, it seemed, was not merely a relic of the past. It was alive, imbued with a magic that defied explanation. He examined the newly formed island, his mind racing. What was this place? Why had it appeared now? It was located in the South Pacific, an area he knew to be devoid of any significant land masses. This only added to the mystery. Could the map be updating itself, revealing places that were yet to exist? The thought was both thrilling and terrifying. The idea seemed preposterous, yet the evidence was right before his eyes. Edward knew he had to investigate further. This was no ordinary map. It was a gateway to the unknown. Driven by an insatiable curiosity, Edward knew he had to investigate. His mind was a whirlwind of questions and possibilities, each more tantalizing than the last. What secrets did the map hold? What wonders awaited him in the uncharted territories of the South Pacific? These thoughts consumed him, fueling his determination to uncover the truth. He booked passage on a research vessel bound for the South Pacific, the mysterious map his constant companion. The map, with its cryptic symbols and ancient parchment, seemed almost alive in his hands. It was as if it was guiding him, whispering secrets of a forgotten world. The crew, seasoned sailors and scientists, were intrigued by Edward's fervour, though they remained sceptical of his claims. The journey was long and arduous, but Edward's excitement grew with each passing nautical mile. The vast expanse of the ocean, with its endless horizons and ever-changing moods, mirrored the anticipation in his heart. Every wave that crashed against the hull seemed to echo the pulse of his own excitement. The crew, though initially indifferent, began to share in his enthusiasm, their curiosity piqued by his unwavering belief. He spent his days studying the map, memorizing every detail of the newly emerged island. The intricate lines and markings became etched in his mind, each one a clue to the island's mysteries. He often found himself lost in thought, imagining the island's landscapes and the adventures that awaited him there. The map was more than just a guide. It was a promise of discovery and wonder. It was marked by a ring of coral reefs, surrounding a lush green interior. The vibrant colours of the reefs, teeming with marine life, hinted at the island's untouched beauty. Edward could almost hear the calls of exotic birds and the rustle of leaves in the gentle breeze. The island was a paradise, a hidden gem waiting to be explored. A freshwater lake shimmered in the centre, fed by what appeared to be a cascading waterfall. The crystal-clear waters sparkled under the sun, reflecting the lush greenery that surrounded it. Edward imagined himself standing by the lake, feeling the cool mist of the waterfall on his face. It was a vision of tranquility and natural beauty, a stark contrast to the vast, unpredictable ocean. It was a paradise waiting to be discovered. The island's untouched landscapes promised adventures and discoveries beyond Edward's wildest dreams. He envisioned exploring its dense forests, uncovering hidden caves and perhaps even finding remnants of ancient civilizations. The possibilities were endless, and each one filled him with a sense of wonder and excitement. As they neared the coordinates indicated on the map, the crew grew skeptical. The seasoned sailors and scientists began to question the validity of Edward's map. They had sailed these waters many times and had never encountered any signs of an undiscovered island. Their skepticism was palpable, and whispers of doubt spread among the crew. The ocean in this region was well charted, its depths thoroughly plumbed. The crew had extensive knowledge of the area, and the idea of a previously undiscovered island seemed implausible. They relied on their charts and instruments, which showed no anomalies or hidden landmasses. The tension on the ship grew as they approached the coordinates, with many expecting to find nothing but open water. The idea of a previously undiscovered island appearing out of thin air seemed ludicrous. The crew's doubts were not unfounded. After all, modern technology had mapped the world's oceans with great precision, yet Edward's conviction never wavered. He believed in the map's authenticity and the promise it held. He knew that sometimes the greatest discoveries lay just beyond the boundaries of the known world. Yet Edward held on to his conviction. He had seen the map change, felt its energy. The map was more than just a piece of parchment. It was a living, breathing entity that guided him. He trusted in its power and the journey it had set him on. His determination was unshakable, and he was ready to face any challenge that lay ahead. He had seen the map change, felt its energy. The map seemed to pulse with a life of its own, its symbols glowing faintly in the dim light. Edward could feel a connection to it, as if it was communicating with him on a deeper level. This mystical experience only strengthened his resolve. He knew that the map was leading him to something extraordinary, something that defied logic and reason. He knew with unwavering certainty that they were about to make an extraordinary discovery. The anticipation was almost unbearable, but Edward's focus never wavered. He was ready to uncover the secrets of the island, to explore its hidden wonders, and to prove that sometimes the most incredible discoveries are the ones we least expect. The ship cut through their waves, guided by the coordinates from Edward's map. As they approached the location, a gasp escaped Edward's lips. There, rising from the ocean, was the island. It was exactly as the map depicted, a verdant jewel in a sea of blue. As they got closer, they were further astounded. A village, nestled on the shores of the island, came into view. Thatched huts lined the beach, smoke curling lazily from their roofs. People, their skin bronzed by the sun, gathered on the shore, their faces a mixture of curiosity and apprehension as they watched the approaching ship. The captain, his weathered face a mask of astonishment, turned to Edward. "It seems your map was right, Mr. Edward. This is impossible." Edward, his heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and trepidation, could only nod. The impossible had become real, and he was about to step into a mystery centuries in the making.